Hi, I'm Matt. I'm stoked to be today's Haltech hero, here with my soon-to-be 7-second street car. I've owned this Ute, I think since 2010. I bought it pretty much brand new. I think it had about 8,000 Ks on it. Originally, I just bought the car as my normal day-to-day car. Went to TMS, got an exhaust fitted, and it just snowballed from there. Cam, bigger motor, turbo 400, turbo, the lot. The goals with the car were a 9.8 at 145 mile per hour, and just to street drive it, aircon, all the normal stuff, power skids at power cruise. In about 2012, 2013, we took the car down to Mackay and it ran a 9.9, 9.8 straight away as soon as I fitted the turbo to the car. Living in Townsville, which is really far away from any major racetracks, considering Willowbank is about 1,400 kilometres away, which is about a 15-hour drive. The next closest track is Mackay, which is roughly 4 hours drive. I had to make sure the car was a street car and was street legal. At the time of building the car, I actually worked at Townsville Mechanical Services in Townsville. I really wanted to fit a turbo to the car and I was looking at a GDX 45. At the time, most of the places that had bolt-on kits didn't fit that size turbo and pretty much told me it wouldn't be done. Where one of the mechanics that was working with me decided, hey, let's just do it ourselves. So he made this kit, and that's the reason that it has GDX 45 on the number plate. So this isn't the original engine that was in the car. It's an LSX 427, which is a GM crate motor. So the internals of the engine, it has a Kelly's Dragon Slayer crank, forged rods and pistons. It's also fitted with a BTR camshaft from America. We also put some 6-bolt mast heads on it. So the mast heads, they have 6 bolts which hold the head down a lot more now that I'm using an LSX block over the traditional 4-bolt style head. It also has the LS3 ports, so I can still use the standard style manifolds or aftermarket, and has more flow. So everyone knows the car is GDX 45 going off the plates. It used to have a GDX 45 fitted to it. We've now upgraded the pipes to bigger piping, and we've also fitted a 94mm GDX 55. I have a T6 rear housing, which is a 1.24. It's also fed with 3-inch piping with 1 7/8 primaries, which I've had EGTs fitted to it, which are Haltech monitors. It also has twin 45mm gates on it. So from the turbo, I've got 4-inch intercooler piping that goes into the Plasmaman intercooler, which comes up, and I've got 2 Raceport Turbo Smart blow-off valves, which goes into a standard electronic throttle body into the high ram. So I've stuck with the factory drive-by-wire because the Haltech can talk to the throttle body. It also allows the car to have a very good drivability around the streets, and there's torque management settings that I can use. So I'm still using the factory coils as they're sufficient for the boost that we're running and the setup that we have. I've also got 2200cc injectors, and I'm still running 8 injectors. We had the factory computer in it for a long time. We then got down to an 8.4 quarter mile time, which I then changed over to a Haltech, and within 4 passes got down to 8.0 with no mechanical changes, just more the data that I could see helped us know where we could improve. The car's currently fitted with an Elite 2500. What I do is I have the Haltech control the boost, and we use the race timer function in the Haltech to control when the boost comes in via time, which helps getting off the line, not spinning the tyres, and then feeding the boost when I have traction. The car's pretty easy to drive. You just take off, click each gear, and just cruise the streets. I don't usually change the tune too much. I've got a rotary trim knob that I can select a bit higher boost, but the tune itself is the same. The rotary trim knob is usually used at the track more than anything. It allows me to turn the car down or put the power in a little bit later if the track's not there, especially that it's a street car. I do go to Wednesday nights, which there is near to no prep. The car is fitted with a valve in the exhaust, so I can close the side pipe. Makes it a lot quieter when I'm driving around the streets, but who likes quiet? Fitted behind the LSX 427 is a Turbo 400 built by ProTrans here in Sydney. It also has a TC converter and a full chrome moly tail shaft and a standard diff with a full spool in it. It's running 3.27 ratio gears and has standard axles. We use that as a bit of a fuse, rather break that than the tail shaft. We have broke one or two CV shafts just because of the way that we're setting up the suspension and the way it launches, but we've got that dialed in now that it launches and does a 1.260 foot on an IRS car, which is pretty unbelievable. The reason I chose the Turbo 400 was the fact that the car's really heavy. It's 1,880 kilos and I street drive this car a lot. So having that first gear to take off from the lights and get moving helps me out a lot. Driving into McDonald's is just like any normal car. Hi, can I get a small McChicken meal with a Coke Zero? I don't usually tend to do long drives in the car. Most of the time it's just city cruising, going places, but it doesn't mean it can't do it. I do help my mates move using this Ute. It's more for shits and giggles, as I do own another Ute, but who wouldn't want to move furniture in a soon-to-be 7-second street car? Most of the time I just enjoy driving the car, really. Going to events, just pulling up and enjoying the car, popping the bonnet and seeing everyone's face when they see how big the turbo is underneath the bonnet. Hopefully we'll have the car ready for Drag Challenge here in Sydney. It's a great event where street cars can go, do the kilometres, show their drivability, but then go to the track and show how fast they really are. A massive highlight for me was going over to Drag Week with Benny and his Cresta. I still remember the first day I got there, just walking the pits, looking at all these cars going, wow, these are awesome cars. And then halfway down the line, I realized all these cars are gonna drive over 1,000 miles in this whole event. Drag Week was an eye-opener. It got me really keen to get this car faster and made me have a goal of getting a 7-second pass in this street car, especially seeing a 5-second pass at Drag Week for the first ever time. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that 7 seconds.